Money from a product, getting proper, it's a product. Make a dollar, call me dad, but I
And
ain't
just like that, we are back. It's
Mazzi
Mazzi and it's LiveZone in your ear, on your screen, ready to scream for another week of the NFL. LiveZone, what's poppin'? How you doing?
We got a lot going on. I'm doing good. We got a lot of football to talk about. I'm hyped for what we are going through. We're going to bring a little bit of a live five list back, so bringing it back a little bit. But yeah, let's just get into it.
Let's get into it for sure. We're starting off the extra point with our AFC and NFC playoff teams for the year so far. Too early to tell. Maybe week 7 in the books, ready to go on to week 8. We're looking just about halfway through the season. So, it could be a lot of foretelling of the future to come here. So, Live Zone. Let's start off in the AFC East. Who do you have winning the division in the AFC East and making it into the playoffs this year?
I think this is the easiest one in the AFC, me personally. I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. They're just too overpowered, and adding Amari Cooper that fit in perfectly in this week's scheme of things. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Bills' run game as well. Josh Allen's doing a lot better.
James Cook coming on.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Yep. So I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. I think that's the easiest one in the AFC.
I believe it's the easiest one too. I mean, you look at Miami, nothing's going down over there. Okay, Tyreek Hill is slumping with no quarterback. The whole team doesn't seem like it's got the Miami mojo. The coach is dressing like a cocaine dealer. You know how it goes down there in Miami.
Yeah.
The Patriots dead in the water. I do like what I'm seeing from Drake May. I think they could end up maybe 500 on the year, but I don't think that wins the division at all.
The only quarterback to get 5 touchdowns in the first 2 starts are Drake May and Dan Marino. If that doesn't tell you something about Drake May, I don't know what does.
That is an interesting fact. Are we looking 1970s Dolphins?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if Drake May can be anything like Dan Marino, I believe that he will get a few rings in this era of football because that's what Dan Marino needed. He needed a little bit of protection because that Miami offense was.
He never got a ring.
Yeah, no, he never got a ring. He should have though. I think that's the only reason why people don't put him in the top 5 quarterbacks of all time.
Absolutely. I don't even consider him in the discussion because of that hardware. In football, it's all about the hardware, really, because they're so hard to get. If you could get 1 or 2, you're in the discussion.
Yeah.
End of the day.
Yeah,
but back to the pick for the division, I agree with the Bills. 5-2 right now, got a steady lead. The Jets, Aaron Rodgers, 2-5. After acquiring Devontae Adams too. I just don't see any team going on a run of 5 consecutive wins to catch up to the Bills at some point in this division. So I'm going to agree with you. Let's move on down the list to the AFC North. We are looking at the Chiefs division here.
Yeah.
Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers and Chiefs. What do we like going down here?
Now, before this week, I did have the Chargers making it to the playoffs. Now, I'm between 3 teams with that, so I don't think that they'll get there. But I do think that the winner of the division is the Kansas City Chiefs, without question. The only undefeated team right now in football, now that Minnesota has lost. Do I think that they'll be the clear for the AFC? No, but I do see the Chiefs winning the division.
I'm going to have to fully agree with you. You know me, I'm big on the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes just always knows how to win the game at the end of the day. He's got 6 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions this year, and his team's 6-0. And Travis Kelce doesn't even have a touchdown this year.
That's what I'm saying.
So, if you're counting the Chiefs out, I just can't even talk ball with you, really.
Makes sense.
To be honest, people are saying, "Oh, he's not all that." He keeps winning. Patrick Mahomes keeps winning, so you have to. It's Tom Brady. You don't like him, but you have to respect the game. It is what it is. I do think there's going to be a couple, at least one playoff team coming from this division that we'll get to in a little bit. Moving forward, we have the Steelers and the Ravens division. It's looking like a tight battle between those 2 teams. Do you think it's between those 2 teams to win the division?
110%. It's between those 2 teams. Here's what I'm thinking, though. based off of what we saw last week, yes, Baltimore's offense is putting up a lot of numbers right now with Derrick Henry and with Lamar Jackson, Rashad Bateman, even when Zay Flowers is getting hurt, and then Mark Andrews is starting to look like himself more and more. My thing is that if Derrick Henry goes down, or if Lamar Jackson goes down, the Baltimore Ravens are screwed. So for that reason, I'm going to take the safe pick here. I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers to win the division.
Well, I'll change it up from the beginning of the year a little bit here.
Yeah,
going, seeing Steelers and how they're playing. You know, again, 3 for 3 on this list. I'm going to have to agree with you on the Steelers winning this division. I just think the Steelers are more of a complete team on offense and defense, and with the ability of next man up on that team. I don't believe the Ravens have that. I think they're as deep as their starters. And if anything goes wrong for the Ravens, which inevitably it always goes wrong at some point for every team in the NFL, it just depends on how you bounce back and how you grind out those wins while you're missing your big guys. And I just don't see it for the Ravens. Shout out Lamar, 5 TDs, no interceptions last night. Going crazy.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I will say, if that offense can produce like that every single week in the next 5-6 weeks, whatever it is, I might be changing my way with that. I would not be surprised if Baltimore wins the division. But for right now, the way that I'm seeing, Russell Wilson and Pickens and Najee Harris, how they all clicked last week, I'm looking at Mike Tomlin and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. This is what we should have saw in the Steelers, last year and the year before that, and it makes sense why people are putting the Ravens there. But like I said, if Derrick Henry goes down, that offense is done.
Yeah, and also, I mean, not to mention somebody going down, because that's obviously a thing, but look at the Ravens defense. They gave up about almost gave up about 17 points in garbage time to Tampa Bay with no Mike Evans and no Chris Godwin at the end of the game. So, a team led by Baker Mayfield with, I believe it was Cole Kmet that was making all the catches or something like that. Kmet or something. Somebody on the Bucks.
Yeah,
that might
I
be
think
the
it was
wrong
Auden.
Auden. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Auden was it.
But Auden isn't.
He's not bad.
He's not bad tight end.
I'm saying, but that's your main option after your other two go down. And you're still putting up 17 points on the Baltimore Ravens in garbage time.
Because we also have Bucky Irvin, the rookie running back.
I love Bucky Irvin.
He was putting up some numbers against Baltimore. Even when they were down by 20 points, Bucky Irvin was really the one to pick them back up and keep them moving along. It was him and Baker until Godwin got hurt, and then it was Auden that got points.
Yeah, but I'm saying 5 minutes left in the game, Baltimore's up 41-21 or 41-18, and they come back and make it 41-31 and could have made it 41-38 and had a chance. That's just bad on the defense. I don't think Pittsburgh's doing that. Pittsburgh hasn't even given up 20 points this year, I don't think.
No, but then again, they haven't gone against an offense as powered as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like I said last week and the week before that, Baker Mayfield is putting on a quiet MVP season that nobody's looking at. So I'm looking at this and saying, okay, well, your two best players are hurt. You're going to get one back after the bye week. You're going to get one back at the beginning of next year, right? So Godwin's out for the year, but you still have Mike Evans coming back. You still have Bucky Irvin that's still there. You still have Rashad White. You still have Auden. You got some options there. Baker Mayfield could pull it out still.
There's still a dangerous team. We're going to have to look at the NFC picks, and we'll discuss that a little later. But we got to head down south to the AFC South Texans division with the Colts and everybody, the Jaguars. What's going on over there? What are we feeling?
You have my Super Bowl pick right here. I know we're not talking about Super Bowl picks, but they are my Super Bowl pick for the AFC. I am taking the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud is that guy that nobody is pointing to be the next Patrick Mahomes, but I see it in the way he's playing, how comfortable he looks. CJ Stroud is going to be that second quarterback. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes and CJ Stroud the same way it was Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. I'm picking the Houston Texans here.
Nice move. Hey, that's a bold pick. So you're saying if Lamar makes that playoffs, he's not even competing with Patrick Mahomes. That's another discussion.
I agree.
That's another discussion. I guess we're 4 for 4 on the AFC East this week. I'm going Texans as well to win that division. No doubts in my mind there. I don't see another team in that division being able to dethrone them unless the Texans schedule. And if they end up playing Steelers, Ravens, Green Bay, every hard team in the league at the end of the year, maybe. But
they just had a fight against Green Bay. That game was probably the game of the week right there. In all honesty, that was probably the most exciting game going into it. C.J. Stroud versus Jordan Love. They both showed up.
Minnesota, Detroit gave them a run for the money. That was a good game.
You're right.
That was a good game.
But I mean, CJ sent, bro. I'm telling you.
Well, we got division leaders picked out, so those are our 4 for the AFC. We got 3 more slots to fill. CJ, who are you looking at to fill those final 3 spots?
I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens. I think there's no question here. I think even if somebody gets hurt and they don't win the division, they'll still be a lock in the AFC playoff picks. My number 2, I actually do have another South team. I have the Colts. I have the Indianapolis Colts. If Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco can keep on doing what they're doing, this team's going to be absolutely fine. Listen, that kid, Alec Pierce, I'm telling you, if you don't bet on him, please bet on Alec Pierce. He's going to get you every single week.
We talking fantasy or overs on yardage?
Overs on yardage every single week. It's like 35 to 40 yards, and he's going for like 60 to 80 a week. It's an easy lock. I have the Indianapolis Colts going here in my 6th spot. And then my 7th spot, I mean, it's a toss-up. We have, like I said, the Chargers were my 7th spot, but losing to Arizona, it was kind of, their offense just doesn't look like they're there. I also have the Broncos, and then the other team that I'm not counting out yet, because they just got the trade, they need a few weeks to figure it out. I'm taking the New York Jets here. In my 7th spot. I think as of right now, the Jets are the safest pick for the number 7 spot. I don't think the Broncos will continue to do what they're doing. I don't think the Chargers have the offense to do it. The Jets have a very overpowered offense. If Garrett Wilson and Devontae and Lazard can get it figured out on the wide receiver core, Breece Hall keeps on doing his thing. Aaron Rodgers, even if he's at 50% with all those options, he should be able to get it done, at least to get to the playoffs. So for right now, my 7th spot's going to the Jets.
We're pretty close in our teams. I'm definitely agreeing with Ravens. I mean, that's a lock. AFC is a very weak league compared to the NFC. I also have the Colts sneaking in there from the AFC South. I like what's going on. Flacco's doing his thing. Like you said, with Anthony Richardson, if he can figure something out, as well as good Jonathan Taylor in there. I like the team. I like the Colts team. I think they're a solid team. I just don't think they've put up points the way that they can this season. And then my final spot, I'm going with the Broncos. I like the 2-win cushion that they have over the Jets right now. If we were looking at a playoff position, because Bo Nix has been lighting it up a little bit. That defense is strong. They're just a solid middle-of-the-road team that I think wins the games they need to win and can play with a high-level team. They can play up to their level. I don't think they can deliver a high level every week, but they can certainly play up to their levels.
All right. I mean, that's a hot take. I don't know. I'm both picks, man. I don't know. I think midway through the season we saw the best of them. Now we're going to see the worst of them.
What's more realistic in my eyes is if the Jets lose 3 more games this year, I think they don't make the playoffs.
110%.
So realistically, in my eyes, seeing the Jets lose 3 more times this year is out of 8 more games or 9 more games is way more realistic than seeing the Broncos lose 5 more games or 6 more games this year.
No. I can agree with that. I'm just looking at the overloaded offense. Like we've seen the worst of the New York Jets right now. We have seen the best of the Broncos. It's midway through the season. You know, we saw this with Tim Tebow on the Broncos years back, where we saw the best in them, and playoff time came and he fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
except for the one game.
Yeah,
except for the TD pass.
Yeah. So for me, looking at it, seeing that we haven't seen the best of the Jets yet, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Jets and how they're slowly getting up to where they should be. Like we're starting to see Devontae Adams be Devontae Adams again. We're starting to see that connection with Aaron Rodgers. We're starting to see Lazard go out for deep passes.
Yeah.
Breece Hall's getting more than 40 yards a game. This is the type of thing that we need to see from the New York Jets, because in the New York Jets, it's not the defense that's the problem. It's the offense, right? The offense just isn't clicking. So as long as they can fix those mistakes on the offensive end, I do think the Jets will get there. If not, though, and because I agree with you, if they lose 3-4 more games, the Jets are out for me. I'm picking the Chargers over the Broncos.
Chargers over Broncos. I understand because the quarterback. There are some teams like the Jets that just have bad omens over their head, and the Chargers is that franchise.
I mean, yeah, but like if you look at like what we're getting into here, we're looking at coach. I'm taking Harbaugh over
for sure
over the Broncos coach. I'm having a blank on his name.
I have no idea.
Saints
on my head. Oh, Sean Payton.
Sean Payton. So I'm taking Harbaugh over Sean Payton. I'm taking
Herbert over Knicks.
I'm taking Herbert over Knicks, and I'm taking the wide receiver core over the Broncos wide receiver core, because you have McConkey, you have Rice that still hasn't proven anything. You still have Palmer there. You have
but how are you betting on a Chargers team that's putting up 14, 15 points against an Arizona Cardinals team?
Yeah, I mean,
can't even drive the ball. Didn't even score a touchdown. I think it was 5 field goals.
Yeah, 110%. But it also has to depend on matchups. And the Arizona Cardinals against a run offense is going to do great every single time. So that's what it comes down to. If you have J.K. Dobbins going off on teams, that's another thing that you have to look at. Who is the Broncos running back right now?
College football season is in full swing and Rhythm users are cashing in. Since the start of the season, over 20,000 bets have been tracked using Rhythm's AI-powered predictions with an impressive 7% ROI across that massive sample size. The numbers speak for themselves. Just last weekend, Rhythm users tracked 4,044 spread bets for a 14.3% ROI, 2,721 total bets for 16.9% ROI, and 1,984 moneyline bets with an incredible 21.5% ROI. With results like these, it's time to invest in Rhythm. Get in on the action with a free 7-day trial and dominate football this fall.
Right? You don't even know. So, like, that's the point I'm making is, Bo Nix, doing great for his first year. Okay, what's going to happen now that we're midway through?
We're just going to have to wait and see and find out. That's about it. We do have another side of the league. We got the NFC, which is a lot more interesting, if I have to say so myself. We're going to start off again with the division winners. We're going to look at the Green Bay Packers, the Lions, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Chicago Bears. Arguably the best division in football right now, record-wise. And team-wise, might have an argument there as well.
Yep, you have 3 teams in the division that have 5 wins right now. So looking at this division, it's very packed the way that we thought it would be at the beginning of the season. Now, we didn't say that Minnesota was going to be there. We thought the Chicago Bears were going to be there.
They're still in the mix, though. 4-2. They are not out of the water. Detroit at 5-1, though, is looking pretty damn good.
Yeah, no, I definitely have the Detroit Lions winning the division. However, when we get into the other teams, I'm going to give you my Super Bowl pick for the NFC as well. But I'm going to pick the Detroit Lions as the winner of the division.
To take the division. I mean, we're 5 for 5 on division winners. I think it's pretty unanimous right now. Give me the Lions. Love the heart and soul. Yep. Dan Campbell, love it. Just worried about him possibly losing games for the Lions off his aggressive coaching.
Yep.
But Jared Goff, the whole team.
The reason why
I'm in raw.
Woo! Oh my God. Jamar Gibbs. And David Montgomery.
Yep, David Montgomery.
They have
Sam Laporta.
Laporta, you know what's crazy? Laporta isn't even having his best year. We have tackles and guards getting touchdowns in Detroit. So the offense is loaded.
Yeah.
Now, the problem that I have with the Detroit Lions is the coaching. Mm-hmm. I think that Dan Campbell is the best coach in the NFL, but in the playoffs, he makes some gutsy calls. So that gutsy call could ruin...
Come back. One play ruins the whole season. So
And with the Super Bowl being in Detroit and with everybody saying the script, I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit doesn't get there.
You know, Oh,
as much as I hate
this
saying
is all
that,
opinionated.
as much as I hate saying that, because if it was based off of bias, Detroit's winning the Super Bowl in my eyes. But it's not based off of bias, so I can't go back. I can't go back.
We'd all love to see Detroit there. We're moving through. We got to pick some more division winners. I'm sure we're going to be back to this division and other teams in it. Let's look at the Seattle 49ers division over there. What are we thinking?
Oh, 49ers fans, what did I tell you? Yeah, so they're all hurt by week 8, like I said. I'm taking the Seahawks here. The Seahawks are the clear winner here. 49ers, I'm sorry, but your players, man, that like you touch them and they break. I don't know. Brandon Ayuk done for the season. Christian McCaffrey probably not coming back for the season. George Kittle dealing with an ankle injury. Deebo Samuel, he was sick with pneumonia and he decided not to play. I mean, come on, man. Come on, San Francisco. What's going on in the Bay?
It's the water. There's not enough water.
In the Bay, boys?
They're in a drought.
I don't know. Just like I said last year, the San Francisco 49ers are not the team that you want to watch in the playoffs because they're going to break down and they're going to disappoint you. If you're a 49ers fan, I'm so sorry. I know that there's some people that watch that are 49ers fans. Trust me, I got a lot of hate last year for it. But I'm telling you, the 49ers are not even making the playoffs this year.
That is an extremely hot take. I'm going to give Seattle the win in the division as well. I said it at the beginning of the year. Geno Smith is dangerous and was going to make plays this year. He's got fresh legs, and he's got a great team around him. Little worried about DK Metcalf going down this week, though, that could be dangerous.
That's hurting.
But I still think they have enough pieces to win that division. I think it might be one of the weakest divisions in the league, to be honest, right now. And usually it's one of the strongest divisions in the league. So we have one more division to look at. We have 2 more divisions to look at. My fault. And these are the 2 that I think that we're going to have some differences on. Let's go down south again. Let's go to Tampa Bay, Atlanta, New Orleans. What's happening?
Listen,
Carolina, sorry. They're just not even a football team to me.
I will be the first one to say that I thought that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were going to win this division. And if they still had Mike Evans and Godwin, I would still be saying that. Seeing the injuries that we saw this week in the NFL going against Baltimore, 2 really bad injuries to have for a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. Kind of looking like the 40. No, I'm not even going to go there. But no, I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons to win the division. Kirko Chains, you know what I mean?
I've been riding with my
Atlanta's going to take the division. Drake London, shout out to Drake London. He's doing one hell of a job there on that wide receiver core. Really holding it down for Atlanta. Darnell Mooney's still there, but he hasn't had a good game in 3 weeks, so we shall see what happens.
Shit, I really thought we were going to differentiate on this one. I think it's between Tampa and Atlanta. Well, with Tampa losing those guys, like you said, I think they're a 500 team at best now this year, and I think Kirk Cousins is always going to give you a 500 season because Kirk Cousins is 500. Look at the stats. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me he's not average at every single stat in the entire book. Wins, losses, interceptions, touchdowns, completions. Everything's 50-50. But give me the Falcons to squeeze it out maybe on a 9-8 year. Just sneaking by in the division. I'm loving Drake London. I just did a piece on Revolt Sports about top 5 wide receivers in the game so far. Drake London sneaking onto that list. Having a quiet, crazy year. A second in touchdowns this year as well, and has a game-winning touchdown this year as well.
That's what I'm saying against the Eagles.
Yeah,
that's not that. It's not like we're saying, oh, he had a game winner against the Panthers or a game winner against the Patriots. Nah, he had a game winner against the Eagles. So I would say that they're pretty legit.
So yeah, and their pieces are coming together. I love their kicker. I think they're a solid team all around. Give me the Falcons to beat it. We have one last division.
Before we get there, though, I do think that Kirko is a game changer.
I think he's a game manager.
Yeah. No.
I definitely.
I just wanted to see your face. All right. We can go.
We got one more division to go to. We're going to the hopeless Cowboys, the I don't know what we're going to get Giants, the maybe still good Eagles, and then the surprise Washington Commanders.
Yeah, there you go.
Got it.
So, I mean, I guess me and Stephen A are having one hell of a year because the teams that we hate are doing absolutely shitty. So I'm going to take the Commanders here. Washington, Jaden Daniels, man, he's legit, and I'll be the first one to say it. I really do think it's because of the new equipment that they have for film and all of that. So for everybody that doesn't know, Jaden Daniels, for film, he uses a VR set and he actually goes through the progressions and everything that happens and everything like that, so he can, translate that into the game, and it's been working. I mean, he's one hell of a quarterback. I'm taking the Commanders here.
The first one we disagree on.
Wow.
The first one. I've been watching all the teams in this division kind of closely because it's kind of my most interesting one. Because I thought it'd be Dallas and Philadelphia vying for the top spot in this division. I did not think Washington with the rookie QB would be in the division conversation. I thought they'd be in the playoff conversation for sure. I also thought the Giants had put together a strong team and would be in the position to possibly make the playoffs as well. That has not panned out. Danny Dimes, he's a dime a dozen. Is what it is. Not going to pick it up. Going to leave that dime on the floor.
Quarterbacks with the last name Jones, man, I'm telling you.
We're looking at... And then we look at Dallas after getting literally bent over by the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
Literally bent over. They are out of any consideration in my book to even come close anywhere. It's a two-team race in my eyes. It's going to be Washington against Philly. And I think the experience for Philly and that they've been here before and in this position and Jalen Hurts just do my job mentality and that things will come is going to pay off in the long run. Daniels has that rib injury. We don't know how that's really going to affect him moving forward. Next week, I can see them squeezing out a loss.
I saw that actually, that rib injury. The mom said that he was absolutely perfectly fine at halftime.
It's fine. He very well could be.
I think they just took him out because they felt that
they were going to rout him.
Yeah, I have a feeling that
possible conspiracy theories here. It also could be betting lines. We need to talk about why the Raiders kicked a field goal with 2 minutes left in the game, and it made no sense. That's a whole other talk. Give me the Eagles to win the division over Washington by literally a tiebreaker.
Ooh, that's tough. I would be pissed if I was a Commanders fan.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think it'll be a tiebreaker. If it's not head-to-head, it'll be, what is it next? Points for? Points against?
I think it's points against.
Points against. All right, so we got the 4. A little different on the NFC. We got 3 more slots to fill. Give me one more of your playoff teams right now.
One more?
Yeah, give me another one.
You want my Super Bowl winner?
Yeah.
Give me the Green Bay Packers.
Is that why you're rocking the 4?
Yep, I'm rocking the 5 jersey for a reason. I'm taking the Green Bay Packers here to go to the Super Bowl. Honestly, if they get there, I think Jordan Love wins it. I really do. I have a feeling. I know. I see the face on it. I know. Listen, I've been with Jordan Love all year. I really do think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. Top 5 quarterback in the league for me. I'm just looking at this offense that the Green Bay Packers has. They are very tough to beat. Very tough to beat. And if that defense can manage a team like a Texans to get only 21 points or whatever it was, 20 points, I don't see why they couldn't win the Super Bowl.
I don't hate your pick, but let me tell you why it's not going to happen. They're not going to have home field advantage through the playoffs.
They don't need it. They didn't need it.
I think that Jordan Love is a great quarterback for Green Bay because he's really good in Lambeau. I think he's good on the road as well. But I think come playoff time, he's going up against... If he was in the AFC, I would agree with you. If he was in the AFC without a Patrick Mahomes in there, I would agree with you. But the teams he's going up against in the NFC are just really that good. For Super Bowl bound, I could give you a conference championship game. Super Bowl bound, I cannot give you right now.
It's a launch season, but I mean, going down, still being what 5-3,
5-2,
5-2, still being 5-2 right now. God, I'm really liking the chances for the Green Bay Packers.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to put Green Bay in the playoffs, though.
Their offense, man, Jaden Reed, man, he's like an Edelman type caliber player for them. He really is. He's a game changer, and he's like, for me, I can't look past that.
Look, the Green Bay in the NFC is set up how the Steelers are in the AFC for me. It's the same team. It's the same team. Strong defense, very strong offense.
Yeah.
Special teams all around. Great coach.
Better IQ on the quarterback though, for sure. Look at Russell.
I don't know. You can't say that against the Super Bowl winning quarterback.
You can say that against what he did against New England.
What do you mean?
The last play.
That wasn't his decision, though. That's not Russell Wilson's decision.
But he made the throw.
He made the throw because he's a team player. The team decided that was the play.
Well, yeah, that's the throw. He didn't need to go to that option, though.
Yeah, but that option was open. Malcolm Butler knew the route and jumped the route.
I'm telling you, IQ, Jordan Love is better than Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, well, we're talking about Russell Wilson.
I know. He's better than a lot of quarterbacks.
You're saying Jordan Love's better than Aaron Rodgers with IQ?
IQ-wise, yes.
I doubt that. Dude, there's no way.
I've seen Jordan Love make one bad mistake, and it was in last year's playoffs against the New York.
When he threw the interception.
That's the only bad decision I've seen Jordan Love make. Name another bad decision, IQ-wise, that Jordan Love has made in his NFL career.
Do you hear that? That's LiveZone deep throat and Jay. Because, damn, all right.
It's true, though.
I don't think it's true, brother. I got to watch some more film on the guy, but I'll send you a mixtape of about
IQ,
10.
Man. His IQ is just, it's literally you're going to hate me for saying this, but the IQ level is literally on the same level as Mahomes. I'm telling you. The IQ is there.
All right, moving forward, we have 2 more slots to fill in the playoffs. Who else do you want to piss me off with?
This is where I have the Eagles now.
Okay.
I originally had the Arizona Cardinals, but the way that they pissed me off last week, by the way, Kyler Murray, you are now on my shit list. I don't ever want to see you on any fantasy team again, and I hope I rock them if I see you on a fantasy team, because holy shit, can we get the ball to Marvin Harrison, please? All right, anyways, I have the Eagles here because of that reason. Originally, I would say that the Arizona Cardinals were here if, they could get the ball to one of the best wide receivers in the league right now, but they can't because the quarterback can't see over the linemen. So, for that reason, I'm picking the Eagles.
All right, you're putting the Eagles in. This is where I'm sliding Washington in. I do think they make the playoffs. I just don't think they squeeze out the division. No reason other than I just think the veteran status of the Eagles and the team chemistry and all that is just going to benefit them in the end. And we have 1 more slot to fill. And I'm going to jump here first because I love LiveZone's going to love this one. I still think the 49ers sneak in at number 7 in the NFC. I don't see another team that sneaks in above them.
Listen, I'm looking at it based off an injury base. I do think that Minnesota will fall apart. I think Minnesota will fall apart if Justin Jefferson goes down, and I have a feeling that it's going to happen because he goes down every year around this time of the year. With me, 49ers, once again, it's glass. You touch them and it's glass. The Bucs are getting Mike Evans back. The Bucs are getting old reliable back after the bye week. I'm still taking the Bucs here.
Having the Bucs make the playoffs?
I am still taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. If Mike Evans can do half of what he does, 110%, there's no reason to not take the Bucs here. The Bucs are still a loaded offense. We were talking about Auden. We were talking about Bucky Irving. We were talking about all their options that they have there. You know what I mean? So for me, like Shepard, Like there's options on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'm gonna argue the same reason that you argued the Jets and Denver, though. We've seen the best from Tampa.
Correct. Which I think but
Like that's them playing at a high level.
there's
Them putting up 54 points. Them beating Detroit.
110%.
Them playing with the Ravens
100%.
and now having nothing.
Yep. But that run game that they have right now with Baker Mayfield, Bucky Irving, and Rashad White, I'm sorry. I think they still get by past the bye week with at least a win. I really do. And if they get Mike Evans back, they have Auden. They still have Shepard that can be a good replacement for Godwin. Won't be Godwin, but it can be a good replacement for him. I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield is having one hell of a year this year, and I think that's going to continue.
It's all hearsay. It's all bullshit. It's all picks. We don't know anything that's going to happen. We don't have the inside Vegas lines. None of that stuff. So we just have to wait and see.
The only thing I can guarantee, the San Francisco 49ers are done for the season. I'm telling you. They're too hurt.
Clip it.
They're too hurt.
Clip it.
Brandon Ayuk, gone for the season. Christian McCaffrey, gone for the season. Those are your two best options.
He's gone for the season?
It's an Achilles injury. He's not coming back.
I heard week 10.
If he does, he's going to get hurt again. So,
I heard week 10.
like I said, if he does, he'll get hurt again, or he'll be.
Niners are making the playoffs. Shout out all my San Francisco
sorry.
Bay Area. Yay area!
I'm sorry, Brock Purdy cannot pass to a guy like Ricky Purcell and get the job done.
Oh, he's going to make it happen.
It's not going to happen.
Brock Purdy's the new Tom Brady. Just kidding.
Anyway.